All right, a big day here in the D.C. swamp where the mayors of several prominent sanctuary cities were called to testify before the House Oversight Committee. Not surprisingly, things got a little heated. What a shock. Take a look.
Would you turn that criminal over to ICE?
This happened outside the city of Boston, but I can tell you in the city, whenever someone commits a crime, whenever there's a criminal warrant, we hold them accountable. If ICE deems that they are dangerous enough to obtain a criminal warrant, and the Boston police will enforce it.
Will you turn that criminal over to ICE?
We follow the laws, and we make sure.
Do you consider yourself a sanctuary city? That's just.
We do not under that definition.
You don't use the definition. You're not a sanctuary.
We call ourselves a welcoming city.
We're not pulling the curtain back. We have ripped the curtain from the rods. We have revealed to America just how fast we could have secured our border if you had an executive that was willing to enforce the law. So now we're paying attention to our municipalities. And every one of them is lawyered up. They've changed their narrative. You'll be held accountable. One of you said you're willing to go to jail. We might give you that opportunity.
Mayor, yes or no?
They should be deported.
Okay, Mayor.
Any individual that
Yes or no?
causes harm
Yes or
and
no?
breaks
Okay,
the law
Mayor Wu?
should be held accountable.
This is why you have 6% approval rating, because you suck at answering questions.
I do not think you guys are bad people, but I think that you are ideologically misled, which is why, unfortunately, based on your responses, I'm all going to be criminally referring you to the Department of Justice for investigation.
And while the mayors were getting grilled, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, she was up in New York City at the subway station where an illegal immigrant stands accused of lighting a woman on fire last year. She's back in D.C. from that trip. Madam Secretary, it's so good to see you. I keep wanting to say governor, governor. I'm like, I got to get used to it.
You can. A lot of people are still making that mistake.
Okay. It has been so bad during the campaign. I rolled not only Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nunn-Gary, and Rachel Morin, I'd roll all the names. And maybe I'll have my team pull up those scroll.
You should.
All the names of all these people murdered, raped, victims of violent crime. What are you finding?
You know, I'm finding families like that all over America, and their hearts are broken, their lives will never be the same, and then they're living in some of these sanctuary cities where they have leaders that won't listen to them. And that's what's shocking to me is, well, and even last night, this State of the Union speech, I really felt like the Democrats are broken in a way that I've never seen that's unprecedented. Just the disregard for human tragedy. And that's really what they showed last night, but that's what I'm finding all across this country is people are sick of their leaders. They're sick of mayors like these that we had on Capitol Hill today, and they're done. They're waking up, and they're very glad. Listen, we do these raids on these criminals in these cities. People walking by on the streets, going to work in the morning, taking their kids to school, they stop and they go, thank you. They're telling these officers that are standing there in their gear, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. So,
that's good.
To hear that on the ground, I think is very different than what you hear when you're listening to Democrats.
Where is your, as a human being, where's your heart? Where's your soul? Where's your conscience? You know, your compassion? Democrats say they're compassionate, and you don't stand for mothers that lost their children. You don't stand for a little boy that beat cancer.
Yeah.
You don't stand for a guy that lost his father and got into West Point. You don't stand for a woman that lost her hero husband, police officer? Right. Seriously?
When the president walked in and they just didn't stand for him out of respect for the institution. Out of respect for the institution. I mean, that's at least decorum. I mean, I served in Congress when Obama was there, and so many times he would come in for that State of the Union speech, and I knew he was lying to us, and I knew he had a political agenda and all that, but we gave him respect because this is the foundation of our country. You know, this speech is constitutionally mandated, and if you're going to be a part of it, then you follow the process. And you can disagree on politics, you could disagree on opinions and policy, but boy, respect the institution because it's the backbone of this country.
I'm glad you are doing what you're doing. And the thing that I fear is I think your task is so daunting because you were handed a mess, as the president likes to say. And we have terrorists, cartel members, gang members, known murderers, rapists in the country. Okay, finding them is hard. Now we have people that are working against you, and this is a question I've asked you before. Are we finding the people that are tipping off and putting ICE agents' lives in danger, tipping off the people that you're going to raid?
I have a couple of them identified that are within DHS, and when I'm able to reveal that with the evidence. I'm going to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, and I'm going to make an example out of them. And just on the way here, I got another notification of another leak. And I can't do anything without it getting leaked, and that's why we have to have so many ops all over the country all the time that it doesn't slow us down. So that's one of the things when I was in New York City today, I said to so many of our law enforcement officers, I said, listen, we don't have time to kiss each other's asses. We just don't have time to sit around, and we have to do everything we can every single day because we might have another Lake and Riley tomorrow and wish we would have pushed harder and wish we would have done more. So these leakers, boy, they better watch out because we are putting just as equal effort into identifying them as we are these criminals that are out there raping and murdering people. As far as I'm concerned, these leakers are more dangerous because it's a complete disregard for our law enforcement officers that are out there.
Killed.
Oh, absolutely.
They keep this up,
a law
somebody's gonna
enforcement
get
officer
killed.
and a whole op is going to get blown where people are going to die. And it's because some...
Are you going to stay out on the road and keep doing that?
I am, because I think that it means a lot to our officers out on the street. I learn something every single time of ways we can be more efficient, what things I can do to streamline the process, how we can multiply our operations, and how I can get regulations out of the way. And then what these mayors and governors are doing to cripple us.
And a
These sanctuary
15-year
cities.
low. I mean, how cool is that?
It's super cool. I mean, the president has given me everything that I've asked for as far as being successful at securing the border exactly like he said he was going to do. This guy is phenomenal. I just can't even tell you. I love President Trump, and I love his confidence. He's just steady. He's confident in this job. What he said last night, that he feels like God protected him to make America great again, that man believes it, and I believe it.
I know that for a fact.
He's
I know
all
he
in.
believes it. I've known him 30 years.
Yeah.
Madam Secretary, great job.
No,
Please
thank
keep us in the loop. It really means a lot to this audience. We
I'll keep
appreciate it.
working. Thank
All
you.
right.